This aircraft has never been shot down, not once, in over 30 years of operation. Radar cannot see it, missiles cannot track it, and until 1988, the public didn't even know it existed. This is the B-2 Spirit, the most expensive war machine ever built. The United States built only 21 of them. Each one cost $2.1 billion, more expensive than an aircraft carrier component, a nuclear submarine, or a space shuttle. The factory that built them was hidden inside the California desert, with no public records, no press access, and workers who signed lifetime secrecy agreements. Even the senators funding the project weren't told what it looked like. This is how it was built, and what it can actually do. It all started in 1974, deep inside the Pentagon. American intelligence had discovered something alarming. The Soviet Union had built a radar network so advanced, existing U.S. bombers had almost zero chance of getting through it. The B-52, America's backbone bomber, was suddenly obsolete. The Pentagon launched a classified program called Project Harvey, named after the invisible rabbit from a 1950s film. The joke had a serious meaning. They needed something that didn't exist on radar. In 1981, Northrop Corporation won the contract over rival Lockheed. The decision shocked the industry. Lockheed had built the U-2 spy plane and the SR-71 Blackbird, the fastest aircraft ever made. But Northrop had a different idea about stealth. Not angular, not sharp edges like the F-117. Smooth, continuous. A flying wing with no tail, no fuselage, no radar reflection points at all. Engineers worked in a facility with blacked-out windows, no outside phone calls. Badges checked 3 times before entering the design floor. The project consumed $45 billion over 10 years. And when the B-2 finally flew for the first time in 1989, the engineers who built it watched from the tarmac. Many of them were seeing their own creation for the first time, because the design drawings had been compartmentalized. Each team only knew their section. Nobody had seen the whole aircraft until that morning. Building the B-2 begins with a material that barely existed in commercial aviation at the time: carbon fiber composite. Unlike aluminum, which reflects radar like a mirror, carbon fiber absorbs radar waves and converts them to heat. Every panel of the B-2's outer skin is hand-laid, layer by layer, by human hands wearing lint-free gloves. A single misaligned fiber layer can create a weak point. Quality control teams X-ray every completed panel before it's approved. The shaped panels then go into an autoclave, an industrial pressure oven the size of a house, where heat and pressure fuse the layers into a single, seamless piece. Stronger than steel, lighter than aluminum, and nearly invisible to radar. The flying wing shape is not aesthetic, it's physics. A conventional aircraft, fuselage, wings, tail fin, creates dozens of radar reflection angles. The B-2's continuous wing curve reflects radar in only one direction, away. Every single edge on the aircraft is angled at the exact same degree. Leading edges, trailing edges, engine inlets, all parallel. So radar energy that hits any surface bounces in the same direction, never back to the receiver. The 4 engines are buried inside the wing, invisible from below, invisible from radar. The engine air inlets are saw-toothed, the same angle as every other edge. So even the opening that feeds air to the engine doesn't create a radar return. Exhaust from the engines is mixed with cool air inside the wing before it exits, dropping the heat signature so dramatically that early heat-seeking missiles couldn't track it. The cockpit glass is coated in a layer of gold so thin it's transparent to the human eye, but dense enough to block radar waves from entering the cockpit and bouncing back out. Every panel on the B-2's surface must meet a tolerance of 1/10 of a millimeter. A gap larger than that creates a radar reflection. Teams of inspectors check every seam, every panel edge, every access hatch with instruments that measure in microns. After structural assembly, the entire aircraft moves into a sealed painting facility. The radar-absorbing coating, its exact formula still classified, is applied by robotic arms in a room with no humans present during spraying. The coating is the B-2's most fragile system. Rain degrades it. Humidity softens it. Extreme cold causes it to microcrack. After every single mission, ground crews spend between 40 and 50 hours inspecting and repairing the coating by hand. That maintenance requirement is why the B-2 needs more ground crew hours per flight hour than almost any other aircraft in the U.S. inventory. And it's why every B-2 on Earth lives in one place. Here's what almost nobody talks about. The B-2 cannot fly in heavy rain. Moisture penetrates the radar-absorbing coating, compromises the stealth, makes a $2.1 billion aircraft detectable. The world's most advanced bomber. Mission canceled by a weather forecast. And because of this and the enormous cost of each aircraft, every single operational B-2 is kept at one location. Whiteman Air Force Base, Missouri. All 20 of them. Same runway, same hangars, same zip code. Military planners call this a single point of failure. One successful strike on Whiteman, and the United States loses its entire stealth bomber fleet simultaneously. The Air Force knows this, which is why Whiteman has more air defense systems per square mile than almost any installation in the country. But the vulnerability remains. And it's the most discussed classified concern in U.S. Strategic Air Command. Each B-2 lives in its own climate-controlled hangar, nicknamed cathedrals by base personnel. Temperature and humidity are kept within tight tolerances year-round. The hangars cost $40 million each to build for a parking space. Pilots who fly the B-2 train for years before their first solo mission. The aircraft has no co-pilot on shorter missions. One person alone operating the most complex warplane ever built. On missions exceeding 10 hours, 2 pilots rotate. But the cockpit is so cramped there is no room to stand. Rest means reclining slightly in the seat. In 1999, B-2s flew non-stop from Missouri to Serbia and back. A 30-hour round trip, refueled in the air 3 times. Pilots landed having not slept in over 24 hours. They destroyed their targets with 100% accuracy.
100% mission completion.
Then flew home, undetected the entire time. A single B-2 can carry 80 independently targeted precision bombs simultaneously, or 2 GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrators, 30,000-pound bunker busters designed to destroy underground facilities buried 60 meters into solid rock. No other aircraft on Earth can carry that weapon. The B-2 was structurally redesigned specifically to fit it. On radar, and the B-2 returns a signature equivalent to a large bird. Not an aircraft, a bird. In the first night of the Iraq War in 2003, B-2s destroyed over 40% of all targets struck that evening. Iraqi radar operators reported nothing unusual in the sky. In 2017, 2 B-2s flew from Missouri to Libya, a 34-hour mission, destroyed an ISIS training camp, and returned home. The Libyan government didn't know the strike was coming until it happened. The B-2 has never fired a shot in defense of itself. It has never needed to. Because the best defense isn't armor or speed. It's not being seen at all. That philosophy, invisibility over invincibility, is what made the B-2 the most revolutionary military aircraft since the jet engine. But the B-2 is aging. Its stealth technology, revolutionary in 1989, is now 35 years old. Modern radar systems, particularly those developed by China and Russia, operate on lower frequency bands that partially reduce the B-2's stealth advantage. The U.S. Air Force acknowledged this publicly in 2022. The B-2 is no longer invisible to every radar system on Earth. So America built its replacement, the B-21 Raider, developed by Northrop Grumman, the same company that built the B-2. The B-21 incorporates 35 years of stealth advancement into a new airframe. It's cheaper to maintain, designed from the start to operate with or without a human pilot. The Air Force plans to build at least 100 of them, 5 times the B-2 fleet. As B-21s enter service through the late 2020s, B-2s will be retired one by one. The most expensive aircraft ever built sent to air museums. 21 aircraft, $45 billion in development, $2.1 billion per plane. A maintenance requirement so demanding that keeping one airworthy costs more annually than most countries spend on their entire air force. A stealth coating so sensitive it can't fly in rain. A single base, a single point of failure, known to every adversary on Earth. And yet, in over 3 decades of operation, not one has been shot down. Not one has been detected mid-mission.
Not one crew member has been lost in combat.
It is the most expensive proof in history that the best weapon is the one your enemy never sees coming. The B-21 will carry that idea forward, faster, cheaper, and possibly without anyone on board at all. If the next war is decided by what can't be seen, the question isn't whether America is ready. The question is whether anyone else even knows the race has already started. Subscribe, don't miss it. If this gave you something, hit like. It tells the algorithm this is worth showing more people. For a channel this size, that matters more than you.